Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys this makeup tutorial using all products that are old, OGs, and forgotten about. So if you guys want to see how to recreate this, keep on watching. I'm going to start with a oil just because it's the summertime. Doing this is good, and I also have dry skin, so I want to extra moisturize it. So this is the Derma E Skin, Hair, and Nail Oil. Because I want to showcase as many products as I can to show them off because we've forgotten about them. I'm gonna use a couple products for each category, I think, but if I can't decide between one, I might use two. So I'm gonna use the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Base. This is the smoothing primer. I'm gonna use these two. So to use the Smashbox one first to apply all over my face, and then I'm going to use the skin smoothing one where I have my pores. I'm going to use the L'Oreal True Match foundation, not my color. So I think I'm going to mix in a little bit of a darker concealer maybe. This is a perfect occasion to use this. My grandma actually gave me this sample because she bought something at Clinique and she got a free sample or whatever. It's the Clinique Super Balanced Silk Makeup, and it is in the color 14, so really, really dark. And I'm gonna mix a little bit in with the True Match. Oh, this doesn't look too bad. It still looks kind of light actually, because I'm actually tan for once. For my concealer, I'm gonna be using the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. This is in the color medium, I think. Yeah, medium. Tapped it all down. Now I'm gonna blend it with my beauty blender. For my powder, I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. I don't have any loose translucent powders that used to be raved about and then now aren't. It's basically Laura Mercier and Airspun, and they're both still raved about. So I'm going to use this one just to set my whole face, and I'm going to use the Morphe G40 brush, which is such an odd brush to use for powder, but I love it because it's just so easy. I've been using a lot since it's summertime, and I don't really set my whole face. I just kind of set what needs to be set. NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer used to be such a popular bronzer years ago. It has totally died down, the talk about it or whatever, but I'm just gonna bronze my face. This is still such a pretty bronzer. To go a little bit more in depth on the contour, I'm going to be using the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I have not touched into this stuff in forever. And the Morphe Y9 brush just to really get into the contours. Now I'm going to actually go in and contour my nose. I haven't contoured my nose in months. I just kind of haven't been. I believe I got this in a brush set, but it's kind of a flatter, fluffy-ish kind of brush with a kind of odd shape, but I don't know. Good for nose contouring, I guess, because you can get right on the side. Now, I didn't really know what I wanted to do for blush. I feel I don't have, a great blush that's oh my god, I used to rave over this, but other than this one, I really did used to rave over this. This is Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. I have repurchased this probably 3 times. This is seriously a really pretty blush, and I'm going in with my NARS Kabuki brush. There's hair on my brush. What's that going on? But I don't know. I feel the Wet n Wild blushes used to be pretty raved about because they're seriously $2.99, and they're really, really good. So once I really realized and got more into makeup and I know what good makeup is, I went out and bought the whole Wet n Wild blush collection. I think there's only 3 of them actually, but I still have them all. I have 2 highlighters I want to use. First, I have Becca Champagne Pop. This is Jaclyn Hill's highlighter. It's literally gorgeous, but I hate to say that I don't like it, but I don't know, I feel when I put it on, it just looks chalky, and it looks it's blinding with a matte film on top of it. That chalkiness, it's not just wet and blinding and perfect. But then I also have the MAC Soft and Gentle. So I'm gonna go in with my Champagne Pop because it is a darker toned one, and see, 'Cause, see, it's still, like, it's blinding, but, like, it's not, like, wet and blinding and, like, perfect. But then I also have the MAC Soft and Gentle. So I'm gonna go in with my Champagne Pop because it is a darker toned one, and see, it's still, like, it's blinding, but, like, it's not, like, wet and blinding and, like, perfect. But then I also have the MAC Soft and Gentle. this is honestly really pretty though, but it's not like wet blinding. Like, it's blinding, but like it sits on top of the skin and it doesn't melt into your skin really well. I'm gonna tap on top with MAC Soft and Gentle just because I know this one gives a good blinding effect. It's been so long since I've used this. I used to absolutely love this, and literally there's so much product in this pan. Like, there's like a little dip in it, but like it's crazy. There's so much product. Actually, for my nose, I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush to really get that snatched nose. Gonna go in with an oldie but a goodie for the eyelids. I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. This has been raved and raved again, but it's not like my favorite. It's not bad at all. It's a good primer. I just like a primer with a little more coverage. Like, that's why I just love using concealer as primer, just because it's literally gonna conceal and prime. So, but this is a really good, it actually has like a good amount of coverage. I don't know. Now I'm gonna go back in with the Rimmel Stay Matte and set the primer. For my eyebrows, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. eyebrow kit. I remember this is one of the first things I used to fill in my eyebrows with, and it's not terrible, but So I'm gonna use this, well, this is in the color Light, and I'm gonna use my Made You Look angled liner brush. This is my favorite eyebrow brush at the moment. It's really not that bad. It's just I feel like the grayness of it and the fact that it's like shiny because of it's like really greasy, it just makes them not look that great. But maybe that'll get fixed when I set it with the powder, so let's do that. It's not that bad. And I mean, it is kind of fixing the undertones. It's not looking as gray. I didn't even mean to use all e.l.f. products, but we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel. As you can tell, it's not clear anymore because I used to use this stuff like every single day, and I'd use it to set my brows, so it just made the whole container like brown. But so for my shadows, I decided to go with the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette and the Urban Decay Naked Palette. I think I want to go for like a super bronzy look, which is really all I can do. To do that, I'm going to go in with this shade, which is a lighter neutral brown in the Shade and Light palette. And this is my Made You Look double-sided like blending brush. I'm just going to go in with the one that was next to the previous shade we used, which is still like a warmish brown. And we're just going to tap that into the crease with the same brush. Teeny bit of this orange, just to kind of, yeah, there we go. Just to add a little warmth in there. And with this Real Techniques, what is this? Base shadow brush. I'm actually just going to go back in with the same one we just used, and I'm just going to pack it in a little more just to add a little bit more depth into this shadow. Okay, I know some people are like, you know, like mattes are only for the, shimmers are only for the lid, but like sometimes I like to use a dark shimmery like brown to like deepen the outer corner. I'm not putting it into the crease or like transition, but I'm kind of just keeping it like on the lid, like the outer portion of my lid. So to do that, I'm going to use Dark Horse from the Naked palette, and it's like the darkest brown in there that's not like purpley. So I'm just going to use that on this flat brush, and I'm putting this on like the outer lid. Yes, Fallout, come through. We're going to start making this into a halo cut crease smoky eye. So that's my idea. Back into Dark Horse, which is that color we put on the outer corner, and I'm just going to put that onto the inner corner too with our little synthetic flat brush, and we're just going to pack it in there. I'm going to dip into a little bit of black right here with this e.l.f. brush, and I'm going to, this is a pigmented black, and we're just going to tap it just on the outer corner and just on the inner corner. Wait, actually before I do this, we're going to want to deepen the crease a little bit just so there's like a obvious part of like really where we cut the crease. So there was a lot of black on this little mini brush, so I'm just dragging the extra shadow through my crease kind of to deepen it up a bit. Like this one from the Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to really like work the depth and the darkness of the crease up a little bit. Taking more concealer since we're going to need a lot of concealer because we want it to be thick and really noticeable. A Scone Cosmetics smudger brush, and I'm just going to use this because it's so small. Oh, I opened my eyes. I'm going to use the color Sin, and don't open your eyes. Dip in heavily. Oh, okay, that's not working. We need a little bit more. And there we go. That's our cut crease. Now you want to work on, blending those edges, which shouldn't be that difficult, really. You could just take your fluffy brush with no extra product, and you want to just blend those edges. Virgin, if I'm remembering right, this stuff was super blinding, so I'm going to add that on top. For the lower lash line, you just basically want to build up like gradients. Taking our smaller brush, I'm going to take the first lightest brown and focusing that on the inner and the outer corner. I'm going in with a little bit of black, and then because we have this gunmetal gray sparkleness around the halo eye, I'm gonna go in with Dark Horse and touch that on top of the inner and outer corner of the under eye. Go back in with your same small defining brush and some concealer, and I'm just gonna kind of look neutral and just drag where like the top is and just kind of bring it down, if you know what I mean. But to finish off the bottom, I'm gonna go in with a mix of Sin and Half Baked, and I'm gonna add that to our halo-ness on the bottom. Next best thing, I feel like any Benefit mascara is like good, because I feel like all Benefit mascaras are just so like OG. Like, I mean, you haven't really forgotten about them, but I feel like this one's a little bit more forgotten about than the Roller Lash, because Roller Lash is still doing its thing, honey. She is just fine. But Their Real has been forgotten about just a little bit. So we're going to use Benefit Their Real. Curl your lashes. I don't really have a great example of like an old one that got forgotten about, but this is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the color Perversion. I'm going to use this on the outer and the inner corners of my waterline. We're making this so in-depth, so detailed. For the center of the lid, the center of our waterline, I'm going to use the Sephora eyeliner in the color White. For my lashes, I feel like a good option is the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour Lashes. I feel like these had their, what am I saying? I feel like these eyelashes had their bit of spotlight on YouTube a little while back, not that long ago, but I don't really hear anything about them anymore. Okay, finally, I think we have the winning lip combo that's going to work. I have the MAC lip liner in the color Plum and the Lancome lipstick in the color Pretty Burgundy. This used to be like my favorite lipstick. Like, I don't know why I loved this like dark vampy lip. But I don't really have any that have been like forgotten about. I feel like setting sprays is kind of a newer trend. Like, there aren't any like old setting sprays that like aren't used anymore. But we have the OG MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. So let's take a good spray of this all over my face. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like this video with a thumbs up, comment down below what you guys think, as well as subscribe to become a beauty and be part of our beautiful world. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!